my brother played AthFest.
We're very excited to be back for AthFest.
We're here backstage for AthFest.
Everything that happens at AthFest benefits this nonprofit and arts education for K through 12 students in Athens, Clarke County.
We were on one of the first AthFest samplers.
This is my first AthFest ever playing it. But Athens just has the greatest variety of people.
Did sound check for AthFest.
Every musician you play with wants to play AthFest.
You look at the AthFest lineup and you're like, these are all new guys, and you know they're going to be good.
You have bands playing everywhere, but there's all kinds of different vendors. And can you just talk a little bit more about what would people experience when they come to AthFest?
Everything that happens outdoors is free to the public. So the 3 outdoor stages with musical performances on the Kids Fest stage. So those are youth performers or performers that are like directed at youth, like kids bands. We also have dance performances there. And then there's a block-long artist market with anywhere from 55 to 70 artists that are local or regional artisans that have, whether it's working with fabrics, metalwork, they're selling their wares. We also have affiliated events. So these are events that happen alongside or with. So comedy night that usually happens Thursday night.
Yeah.
Nate Ball's comedy. And then we have at UGA Lamar Dodd, they have a print and zine expo, I think it's called.
Yeah.
With local and regional artists that are making zines or graphic novels, that kind of thing. We added a poetry reading at the Globe. We usually have a movie night. I think we have fire breathers. We're always talking about adding more. To date, we've given out over $750,000 in grants. Every elementary, middle, and high school in Athens, Clarke County. All of our grants go to serve public school students. We have 3 categories. We give out grants for arts equipment. That could be instruments, amplifiers, microphones, and software platforms to be able to record live music or live interviews. Drums that went to a school that they utilized initially for a math class, multiplication tables, like all of that stuff. They would do it to a rhythm. And then they ended up taking those to like a language arts class to do poetry with and like figure out meter. One of our grants is helping to fund a local middle school their orchestra was invited to perform at Carnegie Hall in New York City. So we're helping to fund that trip for 50 middle schoolers to go up perform in Carnegie Hall. So programs and experiences. And then professional development, which is something that's so hard for teachers to get funded. We're sending one teacher to the National Arts Educators Conference in Chicago and another teacher to do it's called ORF training. It's like a whole music teaching method. I am so lucky in this job, that this job exists and like I get to do all these different things and wear all these different hats, but also the previous executive director and the previous board had to do so much work.
This is just when the town needs income, They're making grants to promote arts and music in those schools. So basically they'll give a grant to a band that, like a school band, a middle school band to buy violins, or they'll give a grant to an art department to buy supplies for such, or to take a trip somewhere to do something. So basically teachers will apply for grants and then AthFest will allocate the money as they see fit.
And the grants are it sounds like very specific for a very specific purpose. Right?
That's right. They have to promote the music and arts in the schools, in local schools. So AthFest being for Athens, they've made a lot of great grants, and I think once bands understand and people understand that that's what the money's for, I think they'd be more accepting and willing.
The number of like young bands I've seen this weekend
Yeah.
is awesome. And like, that's the thing is like Athens has its share of like seasoned, long-time veteran musicians, but you're also seeing like the young kids come up and keep it going.
When I moved here, there was 120 or so original bands that only played original music, no cover bands, which just blew me away. Like I moved from North Alabama, Muscle Shoals, and we only had a few bands, like 3 bands there that would only do original songs.
Friday night, the fest just kicked off this evening, and there's electricity in the air, I think. Is that fair?
It's the solstice, and if anybody comes to our show, I'm gonna put a spell on y'all. It's gonna be a good spell.
I'm Kane Stanley. That's one thing I'm sure of. I'm not sure if it's a claim to fame, but I'm an Athens, Georgia native, and I've been here playing music for over 30 years. I did spend some time away from Athens before college, and I came back up here to go to school, and really I just wanted to play music, and I got a degree while I was doing it, and I've been playing ever since. And I've probably played in more bands than there are letters of the alphabet out of Athens, and I've toured the country several times playing music.
I'm here covering AthFest. That's why I'm in town this weekend. Y'all are playing AthFest. Some of you, I'm guessing, have played many AthFests. Some of you have never played AthFest before.
But I was the intern in 2007. It was very...
Laura, will you tell us about your internship in 2007, please? Let's start there.
Okay. It was still Troy Aubrey. And there was another guy that was doing it too. I can't remember who it was. I'm sorry, that guy. A long time ago. I was going bar to bar, getting the wristbands to the band so that it wasn't chaos to get the wristbands. I like the notes.
Like at whatever bar they were playing at?
And I keep forgetting it. You couldn't just text everybody or anything. Like, I'm finding people on MySpace. Like, there is Facebook, but it's only college students. And like, I went to, it was called Gainesville College, that's gone now. But like, I had a dual thing. Like, I did high school and college at the same time, so I had a but it was just chaos. And but it was so cool, so much fun. And like, I was even talking to 5'8", like they played a rock and relief benefit we did for Hurricane Katrina, and I was like, it's just funny how that stuff like really like, it gets in your subconscious. And the modern skirts are back. And unfortunately, playing while we are playing, and they're probably tired of me saying this, but they were like...
Yeah, you're the competition now.
But it was like, they were... I mean, I went to all their shows, and they're just old. My dad and I would go to the 40 Watt together. I was always proud of him, because he was like, all right, if you're going to rebel, then let me come with you. And he liked it, too. He liked it, too.
Hang out in the back, so I wouldn't not get.
And the wigs are still killing it.
Yeah.
I don't have an AthFest story because the first AthFest was after I already left town. So
So is this your first AthFest?
yeah, first time I've ever been here for AthFest.
That's
It is.
really
So
cool.
yeah, I was either in Los Angeles or I was gone when it was invented. So I was here 91 to 99, and then coming back a bunch in 2000. But I moved to LA in 2003.
Stop that. Started
2015.
My band, Shank. Hey, what's up, Shank? We were on one of the first AthFest samplers.
Oh,
I mean, they used to put out...
I missed those. Those are good.
Playlist.
Okay, there used to be a disc that they would put together, and
Orchids.
any band that released an album that year was able to submit,
Yeah.
and then we got a song on there, and we didn't play that year, but I was happy to be on the album, and then my Afro-Caribbean folkloric drum ensemble called Moyuba has played several times, and we've opened up some shows, and then I've played twice with a reggae band called Natty Lovejoys on the main stage, and that's always been really fun. And there were several years where I was not in town for it, and I don't know. I really like that we're doing a night show.
This is our first gig, and we're playing AthFest. It's pretty cool. So I've been half winking at introducing slightly famous somebodies. We're introducing. But that's part of the fun. You got to show up to see who's going to show up, and you never know when the next one will be. So.
Eternally grateful to all those folks for making those hard choices and that kind of work so that I get to think how big we can go. I get to dream big.
It's something that the community always supported, but it took a long time for it to get to where it is now. It's really great for the businesses. It's great for all the venues that host the club crawl. I've never seen Athens as alive as I do during AthFest.
Yeah, it is a lifeline for a lot of those businesses. AthFest is put on and put together by a mostly volunteer committee of about 20 people. We have one event coordinator, and that is like a paid stipend person. And then our booking agent, Troy Aubrey Entertainment in town. He's been doing it for 20 years. Troy works with a booking committee, and that is something that he's done a great job. It was one of my first pushes when I started, was adding more people to the booking committee. And he's done a great job of recruiting from the community, recruiting a couple people who work in like booking hip hop shows in town, and then going to some of the smaller clubs like Flickr, Bouvet, and getting their booking folks on. They're going to know who those smaller up and coming are better than myself or Troy. Or
there was a lot of diversity in terms of the music. It was really a nice representation of a lot of different kinds of music.
Really watch it, me blaze me high grade. Why grow with my natty? Why yelling the king? I listen, I say. I now go make no system stress, I be thought fussy. I now go make them force, I be trying pussy. I now be wild, I just the bass alone. I Athens. Where is the love? Where is the love? Where is the harmony? Gone are the days of happiness. Rhythm track. Where is the love? Where is the love? Where is the harmony? Gone are the days of happiness. Drum and bass. The simple little things like please and thank you. Good morning, how do you do? Even walk good or may the Lord bless.
I say cool chicks I be taking risks, they call me insane. Cassie got that shit that feeds your membrane. As I grow and grow, I see that things change, but I know it don't do no good to complain. I learn to roll with the punches. I don't need your check, baby, but can you teach me something? Don't be acting like my daddy and be trying to preach or something, cause my life is my own and no, I do not need for nothing. No, I do not need for you either. Hey, I'm by myself, I'm in a two-seater. Hey, might switch it up and get that new Beamer. Hey, Joe Pasha dude, he's like the juicier. Hey, I'm on the move, got things to do, people. Yeah, I want someone that is a true people. Yeah, done with my past, I don't want no sequels, no sequels. They tried, but it was so.
There's some fests that happen where I'm from. It's like they act like it's like a representation of all the local music, and then it's like literally all middle-aged white people playing blues and folk.
I have to report on the diversity of our performances for our grants. And yes, this was the most diverse year by far. And a lot of that is Troy's work recruiting great folks for the booking committee.
It makes it a much better experience too. Like, it's not just like a token or something. Like, it's way better to go see 10 different kinds of music than it is to see 3.
Yeah.
It's just better. Trust, like, they're like, oh, the club crawl is going to be awesome.
Every year we get over 500 applications to play at the festival. And somebody looks at every single YouTube channel they link or everything. Like this year, we were approved for and completely thought we had like a $35,000 National Endowment of the Arts grant. And that was yanked by executive order. So yeah, those kind of grants are probably not going to be available to us for the remainder of this administration. So the kind of individual donors or just popping in an extra $5 when you buy your pass is going to be even more important for us to keep nurturing the next generation of Athens artists.
So with the booking committee, everyone submits, artists submit, and they submit links and all their info. And then there's a period during which the members of the booking committee go through the spreadsheet and check everyone out and make your own list of priorities, maybes, and then you just have your no's or your backups.
But nobody's
like
nobody really campaigns against people being on. They just have their picks for it.
Yeah, everyone basically, we have our picks for it. Unless the only thing I can think of is if someone is, I know that this act is very problematic in some way. It doesn't represent AthFest, or I don't know. It would have to be pretty extreme to be like, I have to let you guys know about this person or band. Otherwise, after we go through looking at the list, we come together as a group with kind of our picks, and Troy Aubrey is the head of it. And Troy always comes with who he's picked for headliners and who he has offers out for, and we fill in the blanks. Is essentially how the booking committee works.
I keep it checking, I write the way it's safe to say that you can pay with change. It all changes, bang. See, you don't know yourself until you show yourself. The truest way to learn is when bridges burn and you earn the help. To notice all the flaws that you covered up with the gauze. Hope that you find a cause, but just take a moment to pause, because loss is the root of it all. Whether it's loss of a life or self, man, I pray the moment you fall that they answer you when you call. Cause some people, they don't be picking up, and then they hit you like, I don't see your ass.
This year it was really lovely because we had an intern who was able to facilitate sending out the contracts. In the past, we've split it up, gotten the contracts back from people. But we do split it up as far as who's contacting who about the initial offers and getting things.
I'm moving on to someone who won't do me wrong. Yes, I'm giving up. I'm giving up. I'm giving up on this toxic love.
How do you make sure that the bands that share members don't play at the same time? Because that's got to be like a real concern.
It definitely is, and that's Troy. That's Troy Aubrey.
That's wild. Because like John Neff, who I'm actually going to go talk to this afternoon, he played in 3 different bands at this year's AthFest, and I was just joking with him. We should just call it Neff Fest.
Just Neff.
But that's a real concern. Like, I can think of several other examples where people are in multiple bands, and it's a lot to keep track of. It's not just the 100 or so artists that play. It's way more than that. Your hip hop calendar was very useful.
This the throwback. We won't ever go back. Fuck with me, y'all. Say, give me one time. We
love Athens. It's an amazing. I'm gonna go home in a good mood. And this is a special town, and I mean, honestly, there's no place like Athens, and the musical history is really cool. So it's got a little something that nowhere else has, and I like to capture that and try to hold on to it for as long as I can whenever I come here.
Basically, it's the time that almost every local band plays. You can finally see the bands you haven't seen, or some new band that's good, or whatever. Just kind of everybody gets a lot of good camaraderie and a lot of good shows. I don't know. And then everybody comes out. It's a hyper local thing, but it's.
Like
we used to
10
go
years.
up, right, when I think about it, we used to go from Augusta. I remember I couldn't wait.
The first time I went, Jason Isbell was playing like right after Here We Rest came out.
Yeah.
So it must have been like 2011, I guess, or something like
I
that.
remember the year he played outdoor stage. Yeah.
They closed it out Sunday, and then the sky opened up like right after a set. The camaraderie is something you mentioned in the music scene in Athens and in AthFest in general. It's unlike anything I've ever seen in a music scene or an art scene in general. It's really something to admire and be proud of. Where do you think it comes from, man?
Everybody's just kind of interested, and they're like, well, what are you up to? What are you doing? Like, they're very, and then the people are very interesting there too, because they're interested, and they're not a lot of posturing and stuff. You know, it's just kind of, they're just interested in what other people have going on, and so it stays supportive in that regard. I lived in Athens, and we were in Atlanta, and Atlanta was good to us. It was just bigger and kind of cliquey. And
It's easy to get lost.
And I was like, guys, I think it might be good if we were in Athens. And we came back there, and it was just as good or better. And you just didn't feel any of that weird rub with other bands or whatever. It was like none of that. It was just like everybody was cool.
I've noticed it in the comedy scene in Athens too. I think the comedy scene is the same way.
Me and Katie, we live in Forest Heights, a neighborhood. It's really a cool neighborhood. Like not cool like a hip neighborhood, but like a nice. I don't know. It's just it's where townies go to retire. It's like affordable and really nice and
quiet.
And so and
that's
so
what you
we're
want.
there for I don't want to go anywhere. It's crazy. I mean, there've been amazing places, but there's never been a place where I'm like, oh, this is where.
Yeah.
Katie, we got to move here. We're just like I feel like it's like been home for so long, and it's kind of it's almost like engineered for what I do.
Yeah, that's right.
It's not too big. It's not. I couldn't do a big city for any long period of time.
Yeah, you just feel at home when you come.
Yeah, it's very much, and I think there's something about the whole. I think it's the college, the university, the combination of the university, like and people, bands coming through and then leaving, and honestly, people just come back. It's funny when people like move away. There's always that like, all right, good luck with everything. We'll see you in 20 years or 10 years or 5 years. And honestly, I probably have like 4 or 5 friends who have left and moved back.
I started going to AthFest definitely when I was in college. And so I went, I want to say the first one I saw the Drive-By Truckers. And I can't remember if it was an AthFest or just they happened to be playing, but I think it was AthFest. And they were playing at a pizza place that was on Baxter Street.
Oh, wow.
It was like maybe outside, like on a deck. And I got my friend to go with me to that one. And then I want to say the next year, my brother played AthFest. And so with his band, the Blue Laws. And so I got to go to that AthFest, and that was really cool. Nice. That might have been when Jason Isbell joined. I remember seeing Jason Isbell just come up, and he had this powder blue suit on, and it was really cool. One of the first bands I'd seen when I moved to Athens and had just started school was Drive-By Truckers and this little pizza joint, and here they were like on this gigantic. This is my second time. Not to go down. I should come with a warning label right now, so you don't have I got super lucky last year. I didn't apply to be in last year, but I had asked someone if they had any openings for singer-songwriters anytime soon, and it just so happened that they had one for AthFest in the Globe. And I was like, this year I applied for AthFest as early as I possibly could. And it means a lot to me to be able to play AthFest, because going to it for so long, for so many years, it's a very important festival to me. And to be a part of it is just such an honor, watching my brother and his band be a part of it, to me being a part of it, and then all the years in between. It's just very magical. Last year, after I played, a teenager came up to me and told me how much my songs meant to her. And I was like, oh my God, thank you so much. It was just really beautiful.
And what's also like really beautiful about it to me is that like the city turns out for it. And that's really amazing. And that's the other side, I think, of the music scene that we haven't really talked about, is there are just really good fans in Athens.
I 1,000%
people that just are really good at loving shit.
And just not caring, not having a care in the world about it, and being like, I'm just gonna dance.
Here with me is my special guest is Fedin. Fedin is a stand-up comedian and podcaster. I'm going to hand it over to him and let him talk to you about what it's like to do podcasts and get to meet all these people and get to interview them. And you have a special guest yourself, right?
I do.
Let's introduce this guy.
Yeah, I got Ben Spraker from a band called The Arcs, who's playing tomorrow. And he's been on my podcast. And my podcast is called Overeducated and Underemployed. I'm here at AthFest with Ben Spraker. I'm here at AthFest. I'm actually from Florida. I'm not from Athens. And the first time I came here was to see Jason Isbell right here at this stage that we're sitting right next to. And I've been coming back ever since. I love this city. I've been coming here since 2010. Ben, what brought you to Athens in the first place?
Wow.
Let's start there.
I grew up in Virginia and I ended up here. I just ended up moving here to go to school at UGA like a lot of people, and ended up staying because I just fell in love with it. All right, yeah. So it's one of these places that it can get monotonous, but you just can't quite leave it.
Keep it real close.
You can't really leave it. It's just such a good place to live.
Yeah.
And play music and all of that stuff. You know, be creative. A lot of creative people here. A lot of infrastructure for creative things.
It almost feels like the creative people are the majority and everybody else is the minority in the city, whereas like most places that's not the case.
That's right. When I meet somebody and I ask them if they play music and they say no, I say, God bless you.
Yeah.
Somebody has to just listen, for God's sake.
And I'll say that is kind of the philosophy behind my podcast. I'm a historian, but I also really just approach this as a fan. I really love music. I've loved live music since I was a teenager. I think that AthFest is one of the most beautiful events in the country because of the way this city comes together to bring so many different types of music. People do show up. People do show up, which is amazing.
They actually
even though every musician in town is playing, there still somehow manages to be an audience.
Yeah, and they expect you to play your own material. It's if you play too many covers, people start looking at you funny. Whereas most cities, it's the other way around. If you hear too many songs they don't recognize from wherever.
I think that's definitely true in my city, in Tallahassee. The majority of the bands playing are cover bands. They're playing in bars while people are eating dinner. It's not like here, where the music is the main focus most of the time. You play in a few different bands in Athens.
I do. Athens is small enough that it isn't too hard to get around. It's like a lot of these band practices are like 5 minutes from my house, so it's really good.
That's also, I think, the thing about AthFest is a lot of cities could never do something like this because the number of venues and bars in downtown Athens in a single location is such a unique kind of thing for a city of this size, especially. What do you think is like the other component?
What do you think you just said about there being the number of different bars and venues? I think the story that I always read is that they built the mall out of town a little bit, and all of the stores moved to the mall, thinking that was where it was at. All these empty storefronts were there, and then bars and music venues filled those spots, and that was the impetus for the Athens music scene. But yeah, it's a competitive spirit, honestly, is what it is.
Yeah.
It's like everybody is trying to be the best, and so everyone's just trying to play the best music they can, write the best songs they can, and you want to get a slot at AthFest, you want to do this and that. It's competitive. Also, the city, because of the reputation of the music scene, does draw people move here for that reason. And there's that too.
Your band, the Arcs, is playing tomorrow.
That's
tell
right.
us about that band.
So the Arcs are playing tomorrow, Saturday, at 8:30 at Nowhere Bar, one of our very favorite places, one of the best places in Athens.
I love Nowhere Bar.
The coldest beer in Athens. Yeah, but
there's ice flakes in it.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, but the Arcs are a band I've been in for a number of years with the drummer. I grew up with him. We were like little kids playing t-ball together, and then other guys we've known for many years, and it's one of those two songwriter bands where you have two of the guys taking turns singing because they sing the songs that they wrote. So it's a dual lead singer situation and a dual guitar situation, for God's sake.
Oh my goodness!
So, buckle up, people. Yeah.
What do you think about a gig at AthFest versus playing just another show in Athens?
If it's an outdoor stage, it's really hot, so you better be ready to deal with some.
You gotta pre-hydrate.
Some salt in your eyes, as they say. But also, man, playing AthFest is wonderful because people come to AthFest engaged, ready to pay attention to who is playing, and then they want to engage with that band if they like them, and they'll follow you and all that stuff. It's like people are ready to weekend halfway paying attention. That is cool too. But yeah, like a nice AthFest slot is really worth a lot because you can get in front of a lot of people who never would have heard you otherwise.
Have you ever considered leaving Athens? Have you ever even considered it?
No.
You don't strike me as someone that has.
I got married once and moved to Atlanta for this person, but then as soon as that didn't work out, I came right back. Because suddenly, it was twice as expensive to live in Atlanta. Everything is twice as expensive, at least.
Yeah.
The big city.
And things have gotten a lot more expensive here over the years, too. But I still, as someone who travels a lot, like I do notice that it's still lower than average.
Yeah. The idea is, I think everyone who charges anyone for anything is thinking, college students ain't got no money. Go on.
See, I think it makes sense too to want the repeat ability of students being able to come back over and over.
And that's an interesting thing about playing music in this town for any amount of time. You'll have your band, you'll have people coming to see your band, and then suddenly it just goes away, and you're like, what happened? All those people graduated, and now you got to start over.
So this band is Improvement Movement, and you're actually the person that turned me on to them in the first place.
I'm so excited.
I'm so excited about them too. Let's talk about them for a few minutes before they go on, and then let's go watch them.
They're from Atlanta. They all four of them can sing like birds and play their instruments real well, and they write really catchy songs, and they sing together in harmony. And
their harmonies are magical.
It's mind-bending. So I have been looking forward to this for a while. I'm really glad you guys are going to be able to show it.
At the 40 watt, and they were playing in Tallahassee a few days later.
Yeah.
And I was like, I have to go.
Yeah.
And they blew me away. They are hard to describe.
And there's tons of clips. You can pull up anything, and it's amazing live. They sing like birds, and their songs are catchy. And just now, we heard the singer sound checking, and he sang a little bit, and I knew it immediately. So I am pumped about this show.
Yeah, I love this band. I'm really excited for them. How many AthFests have you played?
Oh my God, 10, something like that. I don't play every year because sometimes you just want to go to it. It's really nice to just go. And then there's some years where every band, every musician you play with wants to play AthFest, and you're trying to book them all, and it's really hard. And then you're like schlepping your gear up and down Washington Street at a breakneck pace, and it's a mixed bag, but I love AthFest.
So AthFest raises money for grant programs for schools and arts, music, all across the county and the city.
Yeah.
What are some of your favorite younger bands to come out of Athens?
All right, well, I just saw one I'd never heard before called Bayou Princess. And if you know anything about Athens music history and Pylon and some of those kinds of bands, Time Toy, Limbo District. Anyway, they're weird and danceable, and that is the mixture of Athens, the classic Athens. And Bayou Princess has got it in spades. Go out and check them out. They killed on the Hull Street stage today. I was like, they got the goods.
Who else are you looking forward to this weekend?
Oh man, tonight, Dash Rip Rock are at the Georgia Theater tonight.
I interviewed them earlier today for an episode of Overeducated and Underemployed. That's where I'll be late night tonight too.
They are the party. That band brings the party.
I will at 11:45 at the Georgia Theater. I will be watching Dash Rip Rock 100.
And then Shaky at the Nowhere Bar after
I
that.
I see them one time open for the Drive-By Truckers, and they were phenomenal.
Yeah, they're a local treasure. They're just
I really enjoyed them.
They take everything that's cool punk rock, but they apply a Burt Bacharach filter to it in the best possible way. A lot of cool twists and turns in their songs, harmonies, but pure punk ferocity. It's wonderful. They're incredible. Go see them.
I'm really looking forward to Lily Hyatt over at the Georgia Theater. Daughter of John Hyatt. I actually just talked to her earlier today too. Also, MK Barnes is playing over at Hendershot.
She's great.
I talked to her earlier this week. That's
great singer.
I have interviewed probably 20 different musicians that are playing this weekend over the course of this podcast. So
wow.
After the stream's over tonight, if you want to learn more about one of these artists, you can probably start with Ben Sprakers. So some other bands I'm really looking forward to this weekend, we talked about tonight, but I'm really looking forward to seeing the Arcs play.
Me too. We haven't played in a bit of time.
I'm going to be holding up a mirror because Ben hasn't been able to watch himself play in a very long time. I'm also really excited to see the Lanes play.
Oh man, they're amazing. That's Kevin Lane, who's also in the Arcs, but he has a band with his brother. He and his brother, of course, have been playing music together since they were kids, and they're called the Lanes. It's Matt and Kevin Lane, and they used to be in a local band in Athens called The Possibilities.
Way Out is one of my favorite power pop records of all time.
It's a classic.
Kevin's an amazing songwriter, man.
He is. He's quite good. Pylon Reenactment Society is playing this weekend.
Yeah.
I don't have it in front of me exactly when their set is, but look it up.
Tomorrow night sometime.
Yeah, Pylon Reenactment Society. Go check that out. That includes the actual singer of Pylon.
Yeah,
is in the Pylon Reenactment Society.
I gotta say, I love their new records as much as I love the old Pylon records.
Yeah.
They're great. They've done a really great job. Vanessa's done a great job of putting together a band that really holds that sound together.
Yeah, they fly the flag for it, but bring something new to it.
Yeah.
And I've known Jason and Kay since I was a boy. I've known those people a long time. They're just the best people and just
I got to see
top level musicians. We've been graced by the presence of Gregory from Athens, Georgia Live Music on YouTube.
On YouTube, Athens Live Music.
Yeah. I didn't quite realize it, but someone at Flagpole pointed out that Athens has the most well-documented music scene in the country thanks to this man.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
I've used his site as a resource for a lot of my interviews, so I really appreciate everything you do, man. I thank you so much.
I've pulled some of my own band's promo material from your videos too.
Support live music, embrace the energy.
Yeah.
I'm filming them tonight.
Oh man, dude,
probably about 3 a.m.
Okay.
But I don't know, because the reality of that is they got to be here at 11 o'clock tomorrow.
I need to start taking position in front of the stage. I'm so excited.
I really appreciate you joining us,
man. Yeah, man.
Thanks for coming out.
Always a pleasure.
Yeah, thanks for coming out for the live stream, and make sure you catch the Arcs tomorrow. Tell us what time and place one more time.
The Arcs at Nowhere Bar.
Thank you so much, Ben. Make sure you check out the Arcs.
I've been looking for the Snake Ball, y'all. Athens, Georgia, Juggernaut TV, AthFest 2026. Look at this beautiful face and add me on the socials. Love you, AthFest.
That's what we'll say before we make it to the bedroom door. We're all so tired and uninspired by all this. Time flies on by as we're all dying for that is where you will find us. Trying to, 'cause you don't know what I got to. No, you don't know what I got to. No, you don't know what I got to. No, you don't know what I got to. Rose-colored eyes are all she's looking through.
I hope you enjoyed the Lanes. They're one of my favorite bands out of Athens. They are also in a bunch of different other bands around town too. Kevin Lane, the singer, he's also in a band called the Arcs that I watched last night over at Nowhere Bar. They were fantastic. Hey, we got Matt. Do you want to jump in for a second? We got Matt Lane here. He's the drummer of the Lanes, and it's an honor to have you here, man.
Sorry, I'm a little out of breath.
I imagine so. You just played your heart out, didn't you?
Hot, yeah. But anyway.
It's really brutally hot out here. I'm jealous of the folks watching this at home right now, to be honest with you. They're on their couches.
Yeah.
Matt, how many different AthFests have you played with different bands over the years?
Oh, God. I'd have to think about it. We played the very first one, Possibilities.
Matt's also, he was the first drummer of the Drive-By Truckers. He was in a band called The Possibilities, and the Lanes is the current project that he's in with his brother Kevin. What is it like getting to play with your brother again?
It's always good. We've always done things in some form, side bands or real band. We've always done play.
Yeah.
But yeah, but we've had this Lanes thing going for a while. It's been fun. It's not something that we do a lot, twice a year maybe.
This Lanes record that this came out earlier this year or late last year, I guess it was.
Yeah.
It was a long process. Do you want to talk about that for just a second?
It was just like we'd start recording some things years ago and not finish them, or do one song here, one song there, and just we never really had a plan to make an album. We were just recording songs, and we finally towards the end of last year, we just decided, let's see what we got, record some new things, and make an album. It had been 10 years or so.
And it's out on
time
beautiful,
for a record, yeah.
It's beautiful white vinyl, right?
Yeah, really nice looking white vinyl. Yeah, black and white, the whole
Pick it
thing.
up all over town or at your shows.
Yeah.
You got any other shows planned in the future?
Nothing right now.
Well, keep an eye out for the Lanes.
Yeah, well, I'm sure we'll have something before.
One last thing I'd like to ask you, Matt. On a day like today when it's so hot and you're the most active person on stage, undeniably, just by the nature of the instrument you're playing, how do you prepare for something like this?
Just I stretch a little bit and drink a bunch of water. I mean, just not eat too much, drink a bunch of water. That's pretty much it. I have one of those little squirty fan things that keep on me.
And we've got Richard who played guitar today with the Lanes, and
thanks for having me, man.
He was fantastic. Thanks again, Matt, for coming by. We really loved your set. It was fantastic. I'll ask you the same question I just asked Matt. On a really hot day like today, how do you prepare to play in that heat?
Bunch of water.
Yeah.
Gatorade.
The crowd should be doing the same thing, right?
Yeah, it's too hot.
So everybody we're talking to at home is watching this in the air conditioning. Are you jealous?
A little,
yeah, a little bit. It's really great that you've put such a nice live stream together. I'm glad the folks at home were able to watch your set.
Yeah, this is cool. I really enjoyed the TV thing going on here. It's a nice setup. It couldn't, aside from it being 96, it couldn't be any better. But you guys aren't God, so I don't expect you to control the weather.
How many AthFests have you played over the years?
At least 10.
Yeah. What are some of the bands you played with over the years at AthFest?
Mother Jackson, Joyful Noise, and the Soul Small Voice. The Lanes, obviously. I feel like a Taxi Cab Versus played it one year. I'm forgetting somebody.
That's all right. What do you love about playing AthFest?
It's just fun. Seeing all the people out that get to see new music they haven't heard before. It's a lot of fun to see that. All right, I'm going to go.
Hey, thank you for joining us, Richard. I really appreciate it, man. I hope y'all enjoyed that set by the Lanes. They were fantastic. Last night, I tried to get into T. Hardy Morris, and I hadn't seen this at any other club the whole weekend, but there was a line all the way down the building, and they were at capacity. And I think people eventually got in for the kind of the end of his set, but it was amazing to see that much support for T. Hardy Morris. He's phenomenal. I really love his music. I caught Bloodkin. I gotta say, what a phenomenal set they put on. you really couldn't get in. There was plenty of space in all the clubs for all the club crawls, but man, everybody wanted to see T. Hardy Morris last night. And I think we're gonna have to. I'm making a push right now. I call for him to be on the main stage next year. I know he's done it before. He should be back on the main stage. Maybe even close out Friday night, because that was a sight to see. I haven't seen literally 100 and some odd people lined up down the road to get into Nowhere Bar, and they were at capacity already. I hadn't seen anything like that since. I'm trying to think of. I feel like there was one time at the Georgia Theater I had a really hard time. Maybe Centromatic or one of the people from Centromatic was playing or something like that, but I couldn't believe it. Thursday night, I was part of the Nate Ball Y'all comedy kickoff show for this event, and I had a blast. We had Drew Morgan in. You've seen him on this live stream. We told a bunch of jokes. We stayed up late and stayed up way too late, especially for a kickoff party into a long weekend like this, but it was worth it. We all caught up with old friends. I'm in from Florida. I come up from every year for AthFest. It's one of my favorite things to do, not just in Athens, but anywhere. So if you're at home watching, wondering, should I come next year? The answer is yes. The answer is absolutely yes. There's hotels all around downtown Athens that you can get at a relatively reasonable rate. If you ever wanted to know what Athens is all about and what this scene is, if you're not from Athens and you're watching this stream right now, you got to come to an AthFest and you'll get the best demonstration of what Athens really means. I've never seen another city come together for art and music the way that this city does, year after year, event after event. And I think AthFest kind of represents it the best. There's other great events throughout the year, don't get me wrong. I love all those other events. Wild Rumpus is something that's really fun, but the way that AthFest just really brings together not just the community, but all the local businesses and bars and artists of all kinds, I really just think it showcases what Athens has to offer, and no matter what you're into. In just a few minutes, we got Celia Chantel, but Cassie Chantel, I'm sorry, I'm having trouble seeing my screen there. Cassie Chantel.
Yeah, I come in with you for a little bit.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
How we doing, Mux?
Oh boy, struggling.
Yeah. It's day 3.
Yeah, I can't see it
so
from
I
here
haven't been
either.
able to read anything.
But we're here backstage for AthFest.
I gotta
Our
say, it's
area.
not that bad. It's pretty
not
cool,
that bad.
but I'm still a little sweaty, but
the tent helps. They gave us some fans to work with, but we're still sweltering out here. Oh, I see Count Zapula over there. We got to get him.
Count Zapula.
Let's see if I
we do need to talk to Count Zapula.
Go get Count Toby. Go get Count Zapula. He's probably introducing the next band or something. The guy.
Yeah, I think he is.
Count Zapula
All right.
showing up.
I'm gonna hand it over to Count Zapula here. Y'all, thanks for tuning in. Enjoy the rest of AthFest.
Hey, what's up?
Is it your good old friend Count Zapula here?
Hell yeah! Thanks for coming in. How you doing today?
Pretty good.
What are you here for? I think you're introducing some of the
Doing
bands.
little stage introductions.
Hell yeah!
Are we ready to rock on this thing? Just sit here and I'll prompt you.
Okay.
All right. Oh, dude, that band was fun. What was the name of that band again, y'all? Orchestra Makuba. They were fun. I was out there dancing. I think, did you get it on the camera, Dane? That band was so much fun. If you didn't make you dance, then you are basically dead. Or maybe deaf. And I'm apologize if you are. I'm so sorry. Anyway, you know who it is. It's your boy Nate Ball Y'all. Make sure you hit up them socials. Nate Ball Y'all. It's Nate Ball Y'all. So first up, I've got my good friend Yasmin here. She's an AthFest regular. How many years have you been going to AthFest? Keep it kind of close.
Probably 20.
And you are only, what, 22 years old?
I
So you
know.
started coming when you were 2?
Been going since I was a baby.
I got you. I was actually watching this probably 4-year-old out there cutting a rug, and I was just like, she's got so much energy. I want to figure out how to steal it. Not the baby, just the energy.
Yeah.
I can't lie, guys. It's a sweaty situation.
It's hot out here.
It's hot out here. You still make it look good. I make it not look good.
It look fabulous.
I do. Oh my God, this whole thing. But yeah, so the whole point of this is the guys at Joker TV log in. They are working really hard to live stream. You want to give a shout out to them before you head out?
Shout out to all of y'all.
Yeah, all of y'all.
And also,
We got one more day to go. We got the rest of this day to go. I'm looking forward to this next band. They're supposed to be really awesome. What were their name again? Next band? Barnhouse? Barnhouse is up next, and I've been told that they're really fun. I've been watching them set up and drum. They've got bongos. They've got merengues. I think they've got key lime pie, which I want some of that too. But say bye to the lovely Yasmin, and I appreciate you coming by.
thank you, Nate.
You're very welcome. I love you too. All right, Fetty, you can sit it right here. I'll catch up with you later. All right. What's up, brother? I'm Nate Ball.
Hey, man. I'm Robbie.
Robbie, nice to meet you, man. I feel like we've been around each other. I don't think we've officially met. We're talking to the live stream for AthFest.
Hello, live stream. Hello, Mom.
Introduce
Hello,
yourself.
Dad. Hello, Carmen. Hello, Archer.
Yeah. Hello,
my
Carmen
name's Robbie.
and Archer. Robbie, tell them what you do.
I'm the singer for Barnhouse.
Oh, man, I'm excited. Man,
yeah, it's going to be awesome.
Everybody's been telling me y'all are right, like fun, like a rowdy, fun time.
Yeah,
And then when I
it's a
see
good
bongos, I'm always like, let's rock.
You can never have a bad time with some bongos.
I've actually kind of got in trouble for putting my hands on other people's bongos.
Hey, that will happen. That will happen in the industry,
dude.
man.
I'm like, don't leave your bongos out if you don't want them banged.
No chimes, no congas, no bongos, no nothing.
Now, how long has Barnhouse been a band?
We've been a band for about a year and a half now. We started playing January 2025.
Nice, dude.
Yeah,
dude. So going from January 2025, this year you're on the main stage at AthFest.
Yeah.
That's pretty dope.
Pretty awesome.
Where are y'all from?
We're all from Athens, actually.
Okay.
Other than me, I'm the one guy out of the picture. I'm from Austin, Texas, but everybody else is from Athens.
Austin is pretty cool.
yeah.
You got somebody in
Nepo babies.
Yeah, my mom owns Athens. So, no, Austin, great town. I've been out there to do comedy some.
Yeah, man.
It's one of those. Austin gives me an Athens vibe. It's just bigger.
It's a big Athens. Kind of takes a little bit of the charm out that we get to see stuff like AthFest.
Exactly. And then I've been to South by Southwest a couple of times. Yeah. That's a fun event. I think the last time it wasn't always 2 weekends, was it? Wasn't it just one weekend?
I think so.
Because I feel like the first time I went out there was for the film festival.
Yeah.
And then the next time I was out there, my friends were playing a band from Nashville.
Oh, that's awesome.
called Cherub.
It's a lot. That's similar to AthFest, where it's a whole weekend of in clubs, on stages. So it's a great weekend.
I like it. I like the diversification with AthFest and the bands and everything. It's like if you're into something, you're gonna find it. If it's not main stage or any of the side stages,
you're gonna find some within the big city.
Theater, all of the other smaller places. You're gonna find something that you're gonna.
Yeah.
So, what do you
That's the best part about it.
You want to tell these guys about any things? Y'all got any shows coming up or?
Well, we recorded three singles here in Athens this week.
Nice.
Debut singles. Yeah.
Where'd y'all record?
We recorded at Chase Park.
Okay.
Thanks to our buddy David Barbie.
David, I know David.
Yeah,
man.
David Barbie and our engineer McKendrick helping us out at Chase Park. But yeah, it was a great time.
That's awesome.
I might have to head out soon.
I was wondering if you were going to go.
They're mad at me over there.
Yeah, they're probably going to need you, brother.
It was
it's so great to meet you. I can't wait to see the show rock out, man.
Thanks, man.
Thanks, brother, man. On the main stage, y'all got to make sure to check them out because they're gonna rock and roll. And it just so happens that the majority of the boys are hometown locals, so we got to support them Athenians. All right, up next, y'all know the man, the myth, the legend, Fedden. How's your weekend going, dude?
Oh man, it has been. This has been the coolest AthFest that I've ever had.
Cool
I think.
as in vibe, not temperature. No.
Oh, it was way hotter last year.
Actually, I have been to some sweat fest stuff. I meant AthFest sweat fest. So no, this has definitely been not bad. I'm glad we got a little bit of cloud cover, and then it's not raining. Knock on wood.
I really love Dangfly. They were probably my favorite band that I've seen out here today, outside.
Gotcha.
But That being said, that steel drum thing was pretty cool too.
That group, man. That's the one, like I said, I had to go out there and dance. I accidentally almost ran over a 4-year-old girl. That would have been rough. I don't know. What is that? Manslaughter? It's weird. If you intentionally kill somebody, it's just whatever. But if you accidentally, it's manslaughter. Anyway, that'd be a good band. What about band names of a band? Do you think there's one out there called Bandslaughter? If there's not one, don't steal my idea, guys. Trademark 2026 band. That feels like a fun one. I like to say it. I want to be in that band and play cowbell. Because a name of a band called Bandslaughter, gotta have more cowbell. So what's some of the fun interviews you've already done this weekend?
So I talked to Lily Hyatt and Dash Riprock yesterday.
Nice.
And I talked to MK Barnes earlier this week, and I watched all 3 of them play last night, and it was phenomenal.
There's some great shows. That's the one thing I like doing this. It's a lot of fun, but I'm just going to be able to catch the main stages. So I'm unfortunately missing some of the other really cool stuff.
I've been doing the club crawls quite a bit.
That's the one thing about AthFest. There's so much going on. You get FOMO. You're like, there's 3 bands I want to see at the same time.
That's happening to me tonight.
That guitar is awesome. Yeah, would you bring that over here?
Hey, we're here with Mary Joyce. What's going on, y'all?
Whose guitar is this?
We've got this guitar for raffle.
Oh my God, that's
Mary. Do you want to tell us about this guitar?
That is sick.
So this guitar was donated by Fender and then hand painted by our theme artist, Maggie Baxter.
Maggie crushed it this year.
Incredible.
I love it.
The Lover. So we are raffling it off. Tickets are only $5.
That is a heck of a deal.
Yeah.
Show them the back too.
Yeah, so
it's got the year, the logo. I mean, it's awesome.
I personally cannot win this guitar, but I really hope somebody in town does so I can see it in action.
Exactly. That would be super cool to be able to see somebody playing it from this, because it's the other thing. It's not just a piece of art. It is a playable piece of art.
It sounds really good. I got to play it a little bit.
Really? That's cool. It is lovely. I mean,
it's a piece of art that makes art.
Yeah. Wow.
Just like you.
Are we in Inception or what? You're like, we're in art within art.
Like all of us, man.
Yeah, we're exactly all of us. That's exactly it. So,
right, I'm gonna go
and
on
then real
stage
quick, will you introduce yourself real quick to the guys?
Hi. Okay, I'm Mary Joyce, director of AthFest Educates.
Yep.
Everything that happens at AthFest benefits this nonprofit and arts education for K through 12 students in Athens, Clark County.
Exactly. And Mary Joyce.
That's how we get those young bands
you got to think of this.
in
You got
Athens.
to think.
Is
There's
through
the
these
raffle
programs.
on the screen, guys. There's so much going on. I have FOMO because I'm sticking. I love watching the main stage, but I'm like, there's like 3 or 4 things at a time I'd love to be at.
Yeah.
Next year, I'm going to figure out how to clone myself.
Yeah, speaking of, I got to go on stage and
Go on
announce the
stage and
next
do your
band.
thing.
Love you guys.
Thanks for
This is
popping in.
amazing.
Awesome.
Thank you so much to Mary Joyce for joining us.
Mary Joyce is the thing behind the whole board. It was amazing for AthFest. She works 365 days a year to make this happen. For my show, seriously, Mary Joyce, big shouts out. It's hard work. Troy Aubrey Entertainment, putting in tons of effort and work. If it wasn't for these guys and the help, I wouldn't have my own show now, the 3rd year in a row. It was awesome. Can't wait. I'm still feeling it.
I just want to tell y'all who I'm really excited to see
Yeah, you
tonight.
tell me.
The Arcs are playing over at Normal Bar.
Oh, nice.
T. Hardy Morris and Slightly Famous Somebody. All kinds of amazing
We're gonna
bands
pass
on
off
the
the
club
mic
crawl.
to the
I hope
one
y'all
and
are
only
enjoying the live stream.
Slayla.
Yo, my name's Cam. I'm the lead singer of a band called Schmooze. We're like if Paramore was grunge. We played here last night at midnight at Paloma Park. Schmooze, SCHMOOZE. AthFest.
Dude, I actually follow you on Instagram. I've tried to book you 1,000 times.
Have you? Oh my God, I'm sorry.
You guys are always busy.
Yeah, dude, yeah. We got people, we got a bassist in Atlanta, we got people here. I'm still in school. This is my first AthFest ever playing it, which is super cool. Now I'm walking around shooting some bands.
Did you already play?
Yeah, I played last night at midnight at Paloma, but no, dude, AthFest is so sick. I love seeing, like, Athens just has the greatest variety of people. It's so cool. So many cool people. I love the community of it. All the vendors are so sick. Oh, yeah, music. Oh my God, music. Perfect.
Dude, speaking of the community, I had lost my backpack.
Oh my God.
And I went hunting. I think I was gone for like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
It was in Lost and Found. Somebody had seen me drop it.
Yeah.
Went and took it immediately to Lost and Found and told them to. They were like, hey. And so they were like, hey, we've been looking for you, waiting for you.
Awesome.
Wonderful group of collection of people.
Barnhouse. From Athens, Georgia, about to rock the main stage. Put your hands together for me and Slayla.
And then Barnhouse. Oh my God.
And then Barnhouse. Shout out Barnhouse. Shout out Barnhouse. Oh, there they are.
Everyone in the band, after high school, we went our separate ways, but we would still get together over the summers. And I went to school with a guy named Cecil Conley, James Madison University. He put on a festival called Cecil Fest to celebrate his birthday, and he booked us. So we went, and a friend of ours, Caroline Prue, came and she filmed it. And we watched it, and it was a pretty good performance. And that's what encouraged us to, maybe we should try this for real. So we decided that, I think it was after Andrew graduated, we were going to move to Georgia. And that's what we did. And we were all in different places when we signed the lease. By fax back then. Because he went to Amherst, so he was in Massachusetts. The drummer, Ian Worden, he was in Guam. And I was in Harrisonburg, Virginia. And then we made this decision based on the love of music and that Cecil Fest performance.
And that was basically like a one-off reuniting kind of thing that your friend got you to do.
It was, we played.
You still played together some throughout after high school? Okay.
But it was fun we played as much as we could, but we didn't really.
It sounds like that was geographically challenging, to say the least.
Yeah. We would play at Harrisonburg and other places during the summer, but we didn't do a whole lot of real traveling until we moved to Georgia.
Gotcha. What was it about Georgia that
Kevin Kinney? That was what it was for me. When I went to JMU, one of my best friends, Andrew Stitt, was my roommate. And another musician, Amy Dominguez, who's still active in the DC area. She played with, I randomly saw her in Athens one day. She was playing cello with Mary Timony. But I'm not sure I know she still plays. I think she's very involved in classical music and played the cello da gamba or something. She does neat stuff from what I see.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
She brought over a copy of McDougal Blues, and my roommate and I listened to it. It was probably about 3 times in a row. Just absolutely loved this record. And after the whole Cecil Fest thing, and we were trying to decide where to go, he kept saying, Andy Stitt was like, you should go to Athens, Georgia. He'd play the Athens, Georgia Inside Out soundtrack all the time to kind of encourage it. And then when I found out that Kevin Kinney lived in Athens, I was like, let's go check it out.
So did you visit first repeatedly or?
No, we came down once.
You came down once.
Came down once and we went to see, we saw Harvey Milk at the Atomic. Nice. And we saw a band called Funk-O-Matic at the 40 Watt Club. And I think we had lunch. It was like $5 going in on the beer. So we're like, yeah, this will work. We actually didn't move into Athens proper. We lived in Comer.
Okay.
For a year and a half, something like that.
but you found it affordable. You found it to have the scene that you were looking for, and people that you admired and respected.
Oh yeah.
Was anybody arguing for any other city? Was there debate about it, or was it?
Really, I think we had talked about maybe 2 or 3 cities. Asheville, I think, was something that was considered, but I think Athens was like, let's go and check it out and see what that's.
What was it like? What was this entering a scene like that's pretty well established already?
You know what? One of the reasons we chose Athens was because it was 1996. The Olympics were going on. So we figured all the clubs would be packed. Instant fame, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But,
international audience coming to you.
Yeah, exactly. So that
1996,
was
the Olympics.
Another big reason why it was Athens. We didn't take into account how difficult it was going to be to rent places then. That's why we wound up in Comer.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Because they had a lot of the events here in this.
I think they had rhythmic gymnastics. They had, I think, soccer.
Okay.
Or at least women's soccer, because we were playing at a place called Wishbones when was it the women's team won. It was at Brandy Chastain, whipped off the top. A huge roar, and it was right as we finished the song. We're all like, there's no way people here to make that kind of sound for us. But yeah, so
I bet it felt good for a minute though.
But it was rhythmic gymnastics. I think maybe kayaking or something weird. There were a few events here in town.
Yeah. So after the Olympics blows over, you're able to move in Athens proper. But what you were having the realization of the Olympics when I asked you this the first time, but what was it like to move to a city as
just like anything? There are less mom and pop shops downtown than there used to be. I think the spirit is still pretty much the same.
I think that's true.
But some of the geography and obviously the people have changed, but Athens is still a great place to be as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I think it's been shielded from a lot of you've seen, there's definitely been some gentrification here and corporations moving in, and just like everywhere else. But I do think that it has been somewhat shielded from a lot of the shit that has really screwed up a lot of the other cities in America.
There's still a true love of music and the arts here in town.
Yeah.
There's still a true love of music and the arts here in town.
Yeah. It's a real priority in a way that I don't see in other cities that claim they love the arts and do support the arts in some ways, but it's not their passion.
Yeah. Patton Oswalt has a famous bit about being in Athens and the way things were. In the grand scheme, a lot of it's true. I think it's pretty supportive. So yeah, it's changed, but a lot of it's still, in a way, still the same.
Yeah, you just did sound check for AthFest.
Yeah.
Have y'all ever played AthFest before?
No. So we were here. We played the Heathens thing. We played over at the Flicker for Matt's Dialback showcase. That's the last time we were in Athens, so we're very excited to be back for AthFest.
What do you think is unique about Athens versus other cities?
I was a huge REM fan in college, and when I came here, it was like Mecca. It was like going to see REM's house, and I love the B-52s too. It's just such a cool experimental scene where a lot of art students like to grab guitars and make funky, crazy, outrageous music. And Athens has always just created the coolest, unique music. And I don't know why. I don't know if it's Georgia, it's close to Atlanta, but there's just something here about the college and artists. It's like the art school. It creates the best music in town. Yeah. Not the music school, it's the art school. Because everybody's crazy and they're wearing crazy haircuts and crazy clothes. And you get bands like Love Tractor and Guadalcanal Diary. And then it all went on to Drive-By Truckers. And to this day, there's still these super creative bands coming out of Athens. Yeah. We're looking forward to seeing some of them for AthFest. It's like you look at the AthFest lineup and you're like, these are all new guys. And you know they're going to be good because they're coming from Athens and it's a proving ground. for really cool art rock. So that's why I love it.
Troy Aubrey, who puts on AthFest, I think he was conscious of when he knew when he was involved in the scheduling, because he knew I played in all three of those bands. Made it work.
We were in high school, and Kevin, we met this guy, our friend Bob, in high school, and we were in like marching band together, all three of us, and just met him, and he was interested in playing too, and he played a little guitar, and we just started that up. And that was, we literally would, Bob's dad had a trailer out on Lake Seminole, about 20 miles outside of Bainbridge, and he didn't live there full time, so we just had access to this trailer. We just went out there almost every day and just played. And kind of the same thing. It was just like, we'd invite friends out there sometimes. And, but yeah, there's nowhere to play. We didn't really play out anywhere other than, like I said, we do little parties and stuff like that. And
so you moved to Athens because you wanted places to play music?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
By that point, we'd really started getting a little serious about it, and Kevin was writing a bunch more songs, and Bob was writing songs too. And we just wanted to go for it, and Athens was not too far away.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and it had a reputation too, obviously.
Yeah.
For everything, and
the
cost of living was, I think, really like killer back then.
I think back on it, the first house we found was on Willow Run, which in normal town, and I think it was $500 a month for all three of us. And I think back on that,
that's crazy,
unbelievable. Like how much more expensive things are now. Like we were just able to come up here with nothing really. Find little jobs and make enough money to pay the rent and the bills and be able to play music, and just played out as much as we could.
And previously they didn't have an official photographer. They had interns do it. And Mary Joyce, who's the executive director of AthFest Educate, and one of the things that she wanted was to have an official photographer and an official video, just because that was something that they didn't have. So when the idea of having an official photographer came up, she thought of me, and we had kept in touch over the years, and so she reached out and asked me if I was interested. She's like, well, you're already doing it. She's like,
Go to your homes. Go.
That's it. We're done with yous. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Hey, the guy that was making us sound way better than we deserve, Alexander over there. Anderson. Are you sure? I want to say Anderson or Alexander. Anyway, go say hi, go thank him, and buy him something or give him some of your drugs. Hey, thanks so much for coming out. We'll see you next go around.